ill, hence why he didn't join the server in time. But either way, game is now live and already hitting toward the B bomb site. Get right to find one. On to refresh. Trey comes back through. Dragonfly is able to find the kill onto res as well, so does manage to sway it out at a 3 versus 3. Bomb is going to go down, but already being hunted inside of the sort of close ruins. Forest takes down Tormund. Dragonfly to deny Forest though, and now a 2 versus 2. Bubsky baiting around the left side pillar. Bubsky to find one until Lekro flashes out and tries to peek Bubsky with a great play. It wasn't even a flash, it was a decoy. Had me feel, but maybe not Dennis. Still though, Fragsters find the first pistol round. And it is going to be them taking the lead here on Inferno. Of course, both teams tied at a 1-1 in the series right now. This map is going to decide who takes home the W in this best of 3. And with that second round being played right here at Fragsters, of course, do have that economy to invest into the full buy round. AK out onto Dragonfly, but I'm liking that Fragsters only go for the 1 AK. In the second round, it's very common for teams to maybe buy even 2 or 3. We've seen some teams buy 4. I believe it was maybe Sprout that bought 4 AKs during the PMU LAN back in like a couple of weeks ago, last week. And it really doesn't pay off to have those 4 AKs in the second round, because they're that much of a danger if the CTs do kill you off, and that's definitely what Fragsters do not want to happen this time. So just playing the lone AK onto Dragonfly, which is always great. The submachine guns are perfect for generating early round cash as well, which I don't see why you wouldn't use them. Still, Fragsters looking to set up toward that B bomb site. Utility to be thrown out. Flashes to allow Torben the peak, but not before Dennis swings out wide. Still, Torben can carry on into the B bomb site. Take out 2 frags. Rez and Get Right both fall. And already it's a 5 versus 2. Fragsters should be picking up their second round right here. And even so, Forrest and Lekro might just want to save their Kevlar. They've not really gone for this retake right here. They're just staying at the back of the A bomb site. Carrying Kevlar over is always good. You have a pistol to go with it as well, which can sometimes lead to some third round frags. But it all depends on NiP's positioning, because going into the third round, it's going through that full eco. Teams typically group up, which is what NiP should do. A lot of people are very confused about the format of this event as well. It's a Swiss system event, so you need 3 victories, 3 best of 3 victories. Why did I look like diagonally then? Either way, you need to win 3 best of 3s to qualify. If you lose 3 best of 3s, you're eliminated. So a team can still lose 2 best of 3s, then win the next 3, and still qualify for the main event. Just like Cloud9 did in the major. They went 2-0 in the opening Swiss system. Won every single series after that. Where do I see the bracket? The group stage is on HLTV. The bracket for the... It's not really a bracket, it's more like a group stage ladder table. So go onto HLTV, click on any of the matches in the EU bracket, and then click the event at the top. You go to the bracket. But yeah, it's not really a bracket, it's more of a group stage with a league table, because things like round difference are taken into account as well. Still though, Fragsters just playing with a lot more finesse than in the previous round, making sure that they keep all 5 players alive. Doing so will be a great boost to their cash. And with 40 seconds just gone, they will start to now head toward that B-bomb site. There is the lone player of Dennis, and he's already wiped out. There's now 2 remaining, but they're already far away from the B-bomb site here. And as it will be Get Right and Forest to both try and just save. Forest has the Kevlar. And the CTs do get money, whether they survive or die anyway. So there's no real reason to go and rush to your death unless you're playing Fragsters. And NiP going to be subject to a third round here from Fragsters. They will be on to their gun round in the next, though. Do we see them able to invest as they get the round loss bonus? Either way, 3-0 to start. Pretty common, though, considering they won the pistol round. Nothing really to stress about at this point. It's when Fragsters start getting the sort of 4 and 5-0 scoreline when you really start to get a little bit worried just for the fact that their economy is now going to be on the brink of destruction many times over. You don't see an AWP for Ninjas in Pyjamas here. Can't stretch their economy far enough without having to glass cannon, and that's not really a great idea in the 4th round. When you're getting your first buy round, you want to be safe. Ooh, still though, Dragonfly able to execute Forest. Bubsky already trying to swing out towards sandbags and might even get lucky with the player that's trying to back away. And he will definitely do so. Rez gets caught out. Pushed onto the side, Lecco with 2 great kills. Get Right denies one, and Dennis finds one as well. Makes it a 1v1 though. Dragonfly can successfully plant the bomb, but Dennis is already on the flanks. Already wrapping his way around toward mid. Flash will come through though, but Dragonfly's expected it. Get Right will die, and Fragsters make it 4-0. NiP. That's a hard loss to swallow right there. Fragsters make it 4, however, and the money for NiP not looking that great. Going to invest into a couple of the pistols, but nothing major. Fragsters only getting better from here on out. 5-0, a huge chance for them going into this round. And Dragonfly, we've seen it on Nuke. We've seen it again. The flicks from this orb are absolutely incredible. Bubsky burns Rez alive and even shuts down Get Right as well. Now a 5v2, and Fragsters, they come out storming. On the maps, they get a good sort of momentum on. Stowen is able to shut down Forest, and that gives up the apartment's hold. Bubsky once again manning down toward Banana, spots out the head. Dennis has a single grenade, which might just finish off Bubsky. Definitely does. Tries to tap away with a CZ to find some more compensation for the round losses. Himself the AK. Well, he's just going to leave him trapped, but he does manage to escape without losing that much HP. Still, Fragsters very focused on just killing Dennis right now without really going to plant the bomb. The bomb's not moved at all, which is kind of a weird strategy. The bomb didn't go to the A site whatsoever. But it is going to be Fragsters to clean out 5. NiP back into the buy round though, and finally we see an AWP, but we don't just see one of them. We see 2. Double op setup. Rez and Dennis both picking up these sniper rifles. Fragsters though, hungry for a 6th round and hungry to break the bank of NiP. Torben straight through the smoke, able to close out Dennis. Nice little strat there from the T side to wrap around both sides of the A bomb site. Simple, but yet effective as ever. 2 kills already being found. And then NiP not really sat in the greatest of positions right now. Their money on the brink of being ruined, but they are trying to save these 3 weapons, which somewhat gives a little bit of compensation back to the CT side, so they can keep the 3 players alive. That means they have money to buy into the 2 weapons to drop the other 2 players, which, if it is so needed. There you go. Get Right will be able to find one exit frag, but it's only consolidation at this point. Fragsters make it 6-0. NiP, however, after saving those 2 weapons, or 3 weapons even, can of course drop the rest of the team. Chance to make it their first round here on the CT side. Fragsters though with a very confident playstyle so far in this 3rd and final map of the series. 6-0 and even trying to push for 7 already. Definitely possible as well. Dragonfly going to sit inside of the Molotov, but don't take a lot of damage. That's pretty wise. Does get grenaded down to 40 though, and already the angle to be spotted by Rez. Great first peek and a second one as well as Torben will get taken down. Refresh has the team frag, but it's worth it for the trade. Still, Forest in pit can have a good chance at getting a great angle right here onto Stown, which he is definitely looking to try and find here. Still, this is where NiP needed to not let go of this round, and as I say that, Stavin does find the kill onto Dennis, but he is tagged down to 9 HP, so I do not see a world where he can win this round, especially now that Stavin is out of it. Refresh all alone in a 1v3 as he moves up towards short, bomb in hand, and an AK to work with. Limited utility though. Still, as he does try to move onto the bomb site, he will find the kill onto Refresh. A chance to get the plant, which really forces NiP to make the retake. Smoke can go down to a long, gives him a little bit more security. Has to wait right now for Lekro to approach from mid. Rez cannot really move at this point. Still, he's expecting him to actually be inside of that smoke, and he might be just right here. Not yet able to spot out, but as that smoke does fade, Rez will catch the kill. Good game sense to know the position of Refresh right there, but there you have it. NiP do grab their first round of Inferno CT side. Fragsters do have a plethora of cash to be able to rebuy into this round, though AWP can swiftly come back out. However, NiP, this is where they need to start getting a grip on the game right now. Fragsters are on 6, which is somewhat of a very moderate T-side scoreline, and can, even if with one more round, can turn into a great success. Not that it isn't already, but take the first peek out towards long. Trade does come through pretty much instantly though. Grenade, London to get right. Does around 50 points of damage, but no real urgency for him to stick around for much longer. Fragsters just playing the default right now with no real reason to sort of group up, rush towards the site. They're not that desperate for rounds just yet. Still, Fragsters 5 in the lead, 4 versus 4. Can hear a lot of talking in the chat. Not sure what that is, but either way, let's just take a look. Okay, they're just talking about the new update to FACEIT. I thought there might have been a little bit of a technical issue. Don't typically see players typing during rounds, but either way, 30 seconds on the clock. Dennis does close out Stavin, and really gives a chance for NiP to just hold off on this round. Refresh burns one alive. Dragonfly actually trades 2 versus 2. Dragonfly to close out, get right. Lekro, AK in hand. Fragsters with that bomb down, and especially with Dragonfly holding this angle, you can count on him to hit the shots, and of course he will. Lekro to fall, and Fragsters make it 7. The money of NiP distraught once again, and the CT side struggling ever more. Looks like we'll finally see a tactical pause coming through from Ninjas in Pajamas. NiP really struggling at the start of this third map. Yes, we've only had 9 rounds played, but to have only, 8 rounds played. To have only have secured 1 is not that great. I mean, they've not really been doing anything wrong position-wise, but the utility's been really poor. There was a situation where, like, Dennis, obviously in the retake, where he flashed over mid, and that flash literally, it went right over the A-bomb site. There was no effect to Dragonfly at all, so there was no real reason for him to throw that flash. It gave up his position. But still, NiP going to be down to the pistol round for this one. Taking a couple of upgraded pistols. Nothing really that major, as we'd only see a CZ to be bought. Fragsters, of course, carrying that full buy round AWP out onto Dragonfly. Fragsters secure an 8 is a great scoreline to gather so early. Already Forrest will be that first player to fall. Stowen able to eventually spray him down. There is one more player looming inside of our apartments, which is Dennis, but he doesn't really want to challenge for much longer. But still, as NiP getting ready to defend the B-bomb site, utility comes raining on through. But with these pistols, it's going to be so difficult. Letcro doing a little bit of damage, gets the dink onto Bobski, but the weapons are just lacking, so the dinks are pretty much irrelevant. Takes him down to 40. But even so, Dennis can have an opportunity at a peak right now. These players wrapping around towards short. Dennis will find one of them. Tries for a second, but with Dragonfly in support, they don't really want to be peeking an AWP too wide. Dragonfly missed 3 shots, and that's probably the most I've seen him not hit in this best of 3 so far, and that is saying something. A very accurate AWP player. But with Staven pushed very deep inside of apartments, should be able to at least close that one frag, and is able to do so. Second one comes approaching. Dennis might be able to land himself a trade, and that he sure will. There'll be no chance of securing the weapon, though. Refresh is there to just deny that one. Get right. Now just going to save the AK into the next round. There's no real urgency for him to play for exits, considering the weaponry situation of NiP right now. There you have it. It is going to be NiP that do give Fragsters the victory in the first half already. Rebuy comes back through, but the AWP is lacking once again. Fragsters now going to be on the back end of a triple grenade toward Banana, and it actually only does 18 points of health, which is not what you want to be seeing from a triple stack. Still, Fragsters advancing toward the B-bomb site. Playing a little bit of a default right now, though. 2 players deep inside of apps. Fragsters, though, just trying to really play with the minds right here of NiP. Because as they do try and head toward that B-bomb site, Dennis is able to shut down Torben, which will heavily force their rotation around toward B. 35 seconds. Time is starting to tick away, and especially with Rez on the back of this pillar, might be the perfect way to deny. He does find one. Helmet will refresh. He's down want. How Rez is still alive. Forest takes away Dragonfly and his AWP. Rez still finds a kill. And as Stavin approaches, 10 seconds left. The bomb has to be planted here. The bomb has to go down straight through the CT. Smokey will find one. Nearly tries for a second. If he didn't whip out the bomb, he might have had a chance at that. Dennis able to finish him off, however. And it is going to be NiP to take a second round. Even so, Fragsters a chance to pretty much hard reset NiP here, which is definitely not what they want, especially with the chance of double figures. Inevitable on the T side. NiP. Getting a third round would benefit them a lot because it's starting to whittle down the economy of Fragsters, but it's nothing close to special yet. Electro catch one off guard, has to switch to the trusty pistol, and it does help him. It's tagged down to 17 though. Either way, NiP with the two-man advantage, even make that 3 as Get Right to shut down Bubsky. 30 seconds on the clock, and Fragsters trying to head toward that main bomb site. Forest is too smart for Stavin though, and Torben now alone in a 1 versus 5. Looks like there has been some form of pause called. Can only assume at this point that it is tactical for the favor of Fragsters. NiP able to keep 5 players alive, so that's great for the money, because they were on the brink of destruction if they lost that round. With this pause, gives both teams a chance to just recollect the previous rounds. NiP don't really need to change anything right now. They've got some decent rounds played. Maybe switching it up would really start to ruin it. They played the double AWP setup that round and it clearly didn't work out. Sticking with the 1 seems somewhat more viable, especially when you can play these angles that do favor the rifles. So when something's not broke, don't try and fix it. NiP, they can try and battle back to 8-7 here, and that's what would be so desired. Keeping Fragsters at around 8 to 9 rounds would be somewhat of a success going into the second half. But either way, it is going to be Fragsters that just get their heads back into the game. They've allowed NiP to get 3. Giving them some more might just boost their confidence much, much further. Still though, Torben able to go fully blind through the smoke. Already able to catch 1 player off guard, but it looks like the flash might benefit. Electro swings out, finds 2. That's great from NiP. Is able to shut down and Electro to finish off. NiP getting a really good round there. Perfectly primed flashbang. That's what NiP need to be doing. Their utility was sort of lackluster a few rounds ago. But flashing corners like that, flashing for your teammates, allowing angles to be peaked when your enemies are fully blind, that's how NiP win rounds. This time, double grenade to take Dragonfly down to 1 point of health. He backs away from Banana so quickly. He's not waiting for that. And once again, NiP a chance to just gain on the scoreline of Fragsters right now. Forget the fact they've won the first half. Just look to try and make it as close as possible. Fragsters, though, they need to get back into the right state of mind. Maybe take another pause before they head into the next buy round. Even so, Dennis catches off Stavin, leaving it into a 5 versus 2 and a 5 versus 3. Sorry, Dragonfly incredibly low. Even a single hit with a flashbang would finish him off. Still, Fragsters fighting to breach the B-bomb site. Will be able to land out one as Get Right's heads get plucked out of the coffins. Rez to catch a double though, and even finds a third. Nice little cleanup to finish off the round, and that's 8-5 for Fragsters. 3 rounds in the lead. NiP gaining on the scoreline though, which is great for them to see. Fragsters able to bring out the big guns now, though. AWP back in the hands of Dragonfly. AKs to surround it, and a decent amount of utility as well. But at this point, NiP starting to really come to fruition in this half. They're using the utility so much better. As I say, that may be a little bit of a misguided smoke, but the Molotov didn't really help the landing there all that well. But still, Fragsters really able to whittle down the utility of NiP, which might really help them in the site takes. Look how much utility Fragsters have remaining compared to NiP. They've wasted all of theirs and there's still 50 seconds left. Really reliant on the sort of aim duels right now from NiP, but as those smokes go down, that might become disapparent. Still, as that bomb guides its way toward B, utility getting ready to be thrown out. 3 players stacked toward the B bomb site for NiP, but that's just common meta. Still 2 remaining, very solid out on towards A. And Get Right, able to find 1 kill to open up the site. Rez is there to hold on as well. And NiP clean up the round. That is a great play to hold off Banana, not losing a single man. And going into the final round of the first half, Fragsters, they so desperately need this one. But still, Fragsters, a decent amount of weaponry considering they've lost a lot of rounds. Get Right burns Dragonfly alive though. Already he is straight out of the round. To refresh Forest to pick off Stown through the smoke. Grenade to follow through him with refresh on very low HP. Just leaves it in the hands of Bubsky and Torben right here. Still 5 versus 3. But with refresh on incredibly low points of health, you can pretty much count him out of the game in this round. Torben might be able to catch one off guard though. Tickle peeked inside of the arches, takes down Lekro. Even gets a second bite of the bullet as well as he got a shot from inside of CT. 35 seconds though in the time. The round has to be now. Torben trades 1. Forrest is there to deny. Molly goes down though, and that might force him out of position. And 180 from Torben in a 1v2 though is having to be very strong right now. Still, though, he makes it a 1v1, and with 48 points of health, is this doable? Can Torben clutch the round? Plant is going to come through. Rez now shifting out of the balcony. Torben gets himself in a nice little boost angle, though. It's a very, very commonly checked angle. He has no utility to even allow him to escape. He's on for the ace in this round as Torben just sat there, no idea where Rez is right now, but maybe expects balcony here because Rez is taking a hell of a long time. And as soon as he drops down, that's intuition that he knows the angle here. Rez, though, better angle for him. And Torben will fall. Time was ticking and did a good time to try and... did a good sort of play to try and just waste the time, but it's not going to be enough as NiP do close out 7 at the end of the first half. No real top fragger for neither of the sides. Maybe Dragonfly carrying on the T side, but all is pretty equal for the CTs here. Who, of course, do switch over at the half. NiP. Pistol round probably very much needed by them, and that is what they'll be trying to secure in this one for the fact that they somewhat need it. Giving this one to Fragsters would definitely sway the momentum back in their favor, especially being on that CT side. You can have somewhat of a much greater time. Still, NiP going to somewhat focus out towards A for the start of this round already. Going to be Forest to pick off Dragonfly. Dennis finds a second, and as they wrap around towards B, the player at Sandbags has to be strong. Refresh gets wiped out. And that's the B bomb site secure. NiP have walked right into the site. Dennis doing great work with that USP. 2 kills to close out the round. 8 all and scores are tied. Fragsters have to force up into this round, and doing so is going to, of course, put them at a disadvantage compared to the weaponry of NiP. They've actually gone for 3 AKs, which is questionable, but Fragsters, they have a similar tactic to a team like Havu, where they just buy into the pistols without the Kevlar, but down with the scout is going to shut down Dennis. Already picks him out of the round. One of the AKs lost, but does get recollected by Forest. Still with that NiP. Not really had a chance to make a trade, but right now, Frags is doing a good job of just playing these passive angles. 3 players toward B this time, 2 towards A as that bomb heads up towards short. No real urgency right now from Fragsters to really rotate. Does get tagged with the AK, though. Rez able to finish him off, as that is the scout lost here, but still they will rotate around toward that B bomb site. Refresh getting caught off guard. Might will find one. Refresh trades, but so does Letko as he gets shut out of the round. 3v2. Bomb will successfully be planted in the default position. Fragsters have the 1 MP7, but that might just be worth saving considering an eco round is on the cards for the next round. But NiP taking the lead on the T side. Putting themselves 1 round ahead of their Danish opponents, and especially in the 3rd map. That is so crucial. especially given the fact that Fragsters now down to the one more eco before they can fully buy into the next round. NiP a chance to put double figures on the scoreboard before Fragsters can buy, and that's their objective for this next round. Still, NiP really starting to see them come out of their shell now. Get right, able to catch two off guard. They got stuck inside of Boiler. Dennis with the dualies, as you like, to close out the round. NiP make it 10. A very swift one, and that was expected as well. It's an eco. There's no real urgency to win the round. However, Fragsters now into their gun round. We see them buy up into a double AWP setup. Have the 3 M4s as well. Limit on utility for those AWPs, but I think it's worth it. Just to be able to have one sniper on each bomb site. But even so, NiP taking away an 11th round from Fragsters would really force them into a tough spot, because they'd be then down to an eco, which is definitely not what you want. But nevertheless, it is going to be NiP to focus down toward the B bomb site, where only 2 players lie here for Fragsters. Do have the one lurk play of Get Right, but that's a very viable choice just because he's got that MP7. Either way, we do see NiP just trying to toy with Fragsters right now, playing with their food, as they are hungry for blood. Utility to be faked out toward the bomb site. Oh, Rez actually gets the pre-fire onto Bubsky. Get Right swings on through and finds 2 kills. NiP open up the A bomb site, open up the B bomb site. Fragsters there stuck in a cliche right now. As Dragonfly will fall, Electro claims both of those kills. And NiP make it 11. Fragsters, I'm going to assume that's a pause on their end. Their money is getting very, very low. The rounds are beginning to slip away from them, and NiP are making moves right now, making motion. But NiP getting only stronger the more rounds they win, of course. And especially being able to keep Fragsters, their economy at bay. It forced them to make plays like this where they have to sort of go into the ecos. They are planning on nade stacking toward pit though. Pretty common strategy on an eco to just grab a HE grenade. 2 split toward middle, 2 down toward banana. Or depending how many nades you have. Just you know, even them out. Throw them down. See how much damage you do. Follow it up with a rush. Try and get some kills. NiP should be somewhat wise to this though, as typically they probably faced a lot of eco rushes in their time. But there we go. Nades come on through. A lot of them to follow. Dennis already finds 2 kills though. Even sprays down 2 more with the help of Forest. That nade stack didn't really help that much. Dennis will fall. Damage to be done to Bubsky though. And there you have it. Rez to finish off. NiP make it 12. Fragsters now going into the investment for the round. They need something to at least go in their favor. AWP back out onto Dragonfly. Ninjas in pajamas, their money getting so strong though. $10,000 on two players. Get right nearly there as well after this round. I mean, if NiP win this round, Fragsters pretty much on a hard reset. Although they do have some form of round loss bonus being made, although Dragonfly changing up his angles. Peeks inside a boiler, takes out Get Right. But Dennis catches two players over on that B-bomb site. Dragonfly will once again trade onto Letcro. But in a 3 versus 3, it has to be Fragsters that perform a very smooth retake. Dragonfly does once again find another kill. Although Rez lines up two, both through the coffins. Stavin and Dragonfly fall top and get dropped by Dennis, and that's 13-8 Fragsters. Is this where the game begins to slip away from them? They have to go into a pistol buy for this one. But even so, Fragsters just playing very passively. Do not want to really invest a lot into this round because they're going to be losing a lot. NiP again forcing these ecos out from Fragsters. And getting much closer to their match point. Two players starting to split towards A short right now for NiP. And a third to be boosted up on top of the hut. To move on forward toward that truck angle. Forrest going in for the early peak still. A bit of damage to be done. Forrest enters onto the site with Dennis. They find 2 kills. That's the A site secure. Rotations have to come through right now from Fragsters. 3 versus 4, so still a chance at maybe some form of consolidation, but especially with Dragonfly falling and Get Right to close out top, and that's pretty much round over. 13-8 will turn into 14. And Stown just left alive in a 1v4. Stown will find one with the CZ. But already being hunted down by 3 players of NiP. Will not last for long. That is 14-8. Still, we see the rebuy coming through from Fragsters, however. Of course, they'll try and play the double AWP setup. The Fragsters going to be switching up their setups. The utility to be thrown by the 1B rotator player. Typically throws the smoke down, rotates back towards A. And away he goes. Again, NiP just playing for the map control. Having these players split up across the entirety of the map. Smoke is behind these 2 players. Refresh. We'll find one onto Forest. Trade comes through though. Refresh. Through the smoke. Finds one onto Dennis. Does get tagged down to 9 points of health, but a 4 versus 2 right now in the favor of Fragsters. $55 seconds to play with here for NiP. If they play this smart, which they're doing right now, they are heading toward the B-bomb site. There is only Refresh in defense. Yes, he has an AWP, but they have a smoke and a Molotov to force him out of position, but still, Refresh holding the much better angle. That's how he can capitalize upon a peak like that. Get Right will be taken out of the round, and now Electro in a 1v4. We'll find one kill. Let's down his head to deny. 14-9, Fragsters fight for survival once more. NiP have a lot of cash just to rebuy with, though. But with that, Fragsters keeping the 2 ops alive as well, which really benefits them. However, it looks like an NiP A-site execution. 3 players going deep inside of apartments, 2 toward the top of second mid. Can get the utility thrown down. The site to be taken would be a great opportunity to run a fake right now, because they've rotated 4 players over towards A. I don't think NiP will be running any sort of fake anytime soon. Electro does manage to trade 1 kill back, but it won't last for long. Spots the angle in the smoke as well. Get Right gets picked off. Dennis finally to deny him. But there's still 2 more players sat deep in this bomb site. Would be so efficient right now for Forrest to swing out and get a kill. That's what he does. Refresh, though, not even spotted. Didn't know where Dennis was killed from. Expected the short push. Refresh will close it down, and that's 10 rounds for Fragsters. Finally, to get themselves on double figures. And NiP's money starting to run dry here. And again, a pause to be called. Probably a good time for, if it's NiP. I mean, good time for both, really. Fragsters off at the back of a win in the round can just take the time to discuss their holds, but most likely, I'd assume it is from NiP here. But of course, NiP still 1 round away from match point. Fragsters doing a good job of keeping them at bay from that, though. I mean, which is definitely what they want. If they can deny NiP from even reaching match point, then that's great. But nevertheless, it is going to be Fragsters to try and counteract NiP once again. Able to do it in 2 rounds so far, but NiP win 1, and this might just be game over, because the money, even though NiP haven't been winning rounds, their money is still very, very low on that Fragsters side. It just proves that NiP have been getting those kills, but just not turning them into rounds. Still, though, very nice peek from Forrest there. Maybe just a tad too over-aggressive. Bubsky is able to trade him out somewhat easily. Didn't help that he was pretty low HP as well. Still, as they head toward that B-bomb site, Bubsky will miss the first shot. Swipes at a second, though. Electro will fall. Rez to find one back, but Bubsky to execute once again. 3 versus 2 now. As that bomb looks to be planted. Bubsky very narrowly just missing the shot there toward Coffins. But with Dragonfly on the flank, might be a chance to just close out this round. Still, Rez finds one. Tries for a second, but as he dives inside of CT, Fragsters will close it out. They even try and, I believe, look for a secondary AWP, but I don't think they'll be able to find one unless that one runs down to one. There you go. Gets the double up setup. NiP still on that 14th round. No movement in their scoreline. Fragsters breathing down their necks now, though. And once more, another tack pause to be called. NiP, yes, they've had a good spell of rebuys. But with Fragsters winning so many rounds, their money really starting to run low. As you can see, Get Right, he's all spent up. Red still has a lot of cash, same with Lecro and Dennis in the next round. Forest, if they get the bomb plant, will be able to solidify a buy round. The max loss bonus is only getting better from here, so NiP might just be able to guarantee another buy round. But they just need that 15th just to send them over to that match point. And even doing so, Fragsters, they're still sat on players with $300 and below 1,000. NiP just seeming to be struggling to find that 15th round here and swaying the match once again in their favor. NiP back into that full buy, of course. No AWP this time, though. Fragsters once again utilizing their double op setup very, very well. He's been somewhat of a great player with the AWP. Over toward this B-bomb site. Still though, refresh. Swings out wide toward Card. That's fine one. But with the molly just at his feet, there's no real way to get out of that. I mean, was it worth the trade? Maybe so. Still, however, Dragonfly again. Quick peek inside of Apps. A great flick to shut down Get Right. Lecro being able to catch down off guard, though, into a 3 versus 3. This is probably the most equal opportunity that NiP will have to try and close out a 15th round. 3 players grouped up toward Banana. 3 smokes, 2 Molotovs. As that utility gets thrown down toward the B-bomb site, Bubsky not willing to take a shot through the smoke just to give up his position. Still, Lecro able to spam through the smoke. Little bit of damage to be done. Bomb not going to be denied. They know now that there's 1 AWP sat inside of coffins. Re-smoke inside of CT is going to waste a lot of time right now for Fragsters. With the spam getting very, very close. Bubsky does miss the shot, though. And that could get very unfortunate. Lecro swings out wide, takes the life of the AWP. And Fragsters giving up the 15th round to NiP. They have done it. They've secured match point. And Fragsters left to carry 1 AWP and 1 M4 into the next round. Forest will die to the bomb blast, but I suppose it's worth it considering they got themselves the 15th round, the match point on the board. And Fragsters, they have to battle harder than ever, and with a limited set of weaponry, there's a very big lack of M4s. Lecro takes out Torben through the smoke. Is that how this final round's going to go, eh? Is that how NiP want to seal the deal here? Still, Starin does hear the push inside of Apps. Get Right does get caught out by it as well. And with no other rush inside of apartments, maybe somewhat solidify and guarantee it is going to be a B-bomb site hit right now for NiP. Still, you do have Lecro lingering toward the second bit of Mexico. Dragonfly tags down Dennis. That might be where NiP do hit the retreat button now and head back round towards A. But even so, seeming to be willingly looking to try to breach the B-bomb site, even with 3 players ready and waiting. Still, flashes come through. Rez will find 1 and sways the advantage once more in the favor of NiP. Oh, Dragonfly! He hits the collateral. Lecro and Forest both die, and now it's a 3v2. Is this the downfall of the round for NiP? They have to breach the bomb site. There's no time left. They have to make a move now. There's 20 seconds. And as the time slips away, Rez will find one, but Dragonfly closes down. That's 15-12. Fragsters just proving that they're not out of this yet. And once again, another tactical pause to be called already. But again, Ninjas in Pajamas, match point for them here on the board. Only needing one round to win their first series in this qualifier. Seemingly somewhat of a hard task to do, though. Fragsters battling so much here. Still, as this game does go live once again, NiP somewhat limited on Forest, down to a P250. Rest of the team force pretty much bought into the round. There's no real force about it. They had the money to do so, but it's just about NiP now, just managing the plays from Fragsters, not letting them get aggressive like they're doing down Banana. Whoopski did spot the player inside of the smoke, but didn't really react to it all that well. Still, utility being thrown for this T side as Torben and Dragonfly all pick up kills. Dennis alone in a 1v4 and Fragsters close it out. That's 15-13. And then NiP down to their eco. This is going to all 30 rounds. And my gosh, this has been an exciting third map. This has been so even. NiP pretty much down to the full eco right now. Torben to close down two. For a third as well, will be able to manage it. Even looks for a fourth, and of course he gets it. Eco fragged, but a nice denial there from Torben. 15-14, and it's now more than ever for NiP. Fragsters battling to take this to overtime. With a limit on utility, NiP have to play this one smart. Setting up toward the A-bomb site, but still refreshed with a peek inside of trees. Splits out the player. Forest will fall, and that's not a great start here. Still, though, NiP to head around toward the A-bomb site. Wrapping their way around towards short and long. Still, Dennis is able to stay somewhat safe at the back of the sort of A-long push. But I don't know how long you'll survive. Ooh, Dragonfly. Just trying to check the angles in the smoke. If I were Dennis, I'd get right into arches before it does fade away. Still NiP now setting up toward the B bomb site. They have a single smoke in hand. Oh, Dennis able to shut down Dragonfly from deep inside of CT, though. He can get a great peek on these players toward the new box and back left pillar. He needs to as well. The time is starting to run out. 4 versus 4, and NiP Looking to breach the bomb site. Get Right finds one. Bubsky not able to deny, and that's a 4v2. Stown is able to trade back in return, though. Tries to swing out further, but now it's a 1v2. Make that a 1v1 as Torben finds a great frag. Dennis peeks out, though, and they make it happen. NiP close out the series 16-14. And Fragsters battled, but not far enough. NiP, they win the series